Yo, guys. Checking audio. I think we're all good. I think we are all good. Let's hope we don't get any lags or anything. Hope all of you guys are doing good. It's either that you're seeing me for the first time or you've seen me too much this week. Siri is trying to interrupt. Guys, I have been away from the charts ever since New York Open. So I'm quickly analyzing. What happened. We took that low? Oh, we did. We did took that low. Okay. Interesting. So let's put this demand back on the chart. We got the move down. Very aggressive. Swept sell side liquidity. Reversed the entire inefficiency back up. Made high after high after high. Never confirming truly a proper distribution model. And then it was news event push up, push down. New York Open push up, push down. Moment we broke market structure right here, we were expecting a lower high for a lower low, at least towards this sell side liquidity, and that is what happened after the break of structure. And now you're kind of neutralized within this range. I said it earlier this week. If you want to be right 90% of the time, you can just say, guys, I'm expecting a range. Because that's simply what the market does and has been doing all this time. So I don't have that much to add on BTC than just the fact that I think we're right now at the equilibrium. Yeah, look at that. You're at the EQ of the range. Yeah, you're at the EQ. Demand mitigation. You have highs above. It's kind of like, the way I'm looking at it now, since you mitigate this demand, it could be that we're compressing inside of this range. Right here. We are indeed compressing in this range. I don't know if I can do it through a trend line. No, not really. No, so we're definitely compressing in this range. And that makes things very interesting because you guys know when you're compressing in the range, first move tends to be the fake move. Okay? First move tends to be the fake move. So this is actually on a pretty high time frame. It's not that you have a local range and you can deviate it very quick. It's actually on a pretty high time frame, where the way I'm seeing it right now, I would prefer it actually if you have your fake move up, you deviate that high. Oh, you have a fake move up, you deviate that high, grab all buy side liquidity, come back down, and then get your retest for the third tap, break market structure back to bearish, have your tap 1, have your tap 2, have your tap 3, have your return to zone and the liquidity curve coming into that third tap, break market structure back to bearish after validating the third tap with extreme supply or extreme liquidity, and then shorting it back down. Like this. That would be a nasty play. I would actually really like that idea, guys. I actually really like that play. So definitely be cautious. If we get some volatility and you get an aggressive move up, I want you to switch your mindset to realizing that, hey, this could be a fake move, okay? Don't get bullish. Don't start to feel FOMO. Realize, be cautious and be like, hey, this could be just a buy side liquidity sweep and we could deviate. That doesn't mean it needs to happen. Doesn't mean you should short it. No, I want you to just be aware, okay? I like that word, awareness. Awareness can fix a lot of things in your life, okay? But I'm seeing that now for the first time, that compression, and that's also why it's very important to zoom in and out, right? We were watching this on the lower time frame. I was talking about getting a potential distribution for an accumulation, for then a higher move up. That can actually still happen. Sometimes you kind of get like a double move where you have a fake deviation towards the low and you already accumulate here instead of grabbing the main low from here, and then you get to move up, and that actually becomes kind of like your new compression where it's kind of like this. That does sometimes happen right here, where you can actually extend the compression effect. I didn't draw it the most convenient way for the drawing, but it sometimes happens that you actually already had a compression that got deviated. So it's kind of like a double deviation, but one was just a very tiny one. Okay, another complete move. So I do like that idea still from this morning as well. Okay, we were watching the distributions. Didn't really get it. Did get the move down, but didn't really get the distribution confirmation because of the buy to sells and buy to sells. But you know, if you come up here and you do get that rejection back down, you got to be aware that, hey, we can have ranges within ranges, right? We have a high time frame compression in the high time frame range, but you can have ranges and ranges where following your downward structure here, making lower highs and lower lows, you get that supply mitigation, you get that distribution. That could be the pivot point of a higher time frame range. So if price does come down, this can be your range within the range. Okay, so if we move up from here, I'll definitely look for a distribution of some kind like this. If we move down from here, I'll have my focus on a potential accumulation from here to then take into a distribution like that. Okay, it happens all the time. Accumulation to distribution, very normal. And if you don't get any confirmations and you squeeze through, there is a lot of liquidity above. So it's truly a decisional high right there, because above that high itself, there isn't really any refined supply areas. You got some refined supply on the like the 3 hour right there, in the shape of like structure supply, but on the lower time frame, if you actually zoom in, it's all mitigated in lower highs and lower lows already. So, you know, people talk about high time frame POIs being more important than low time frame, but the low time frame creates the high time frame. So I could actually draw your high time frame blocks on the low time frame. And if your high time frame block isn't valid on the low time frame, the high time frame block is actually less strong. Okay, so always validate those blocks with the lower time frames. You can still have it on your chart. You can still watch it because you're not trading the reaction from the block either way. You're trading the confirmation coming into the block. So let me quickly analyze USDT dominance with that. Oh, that's perfection. Look at that. So we were talking about, okay, either you're going to get a lower high for a lower low. You did actually get the lower high for a lower low, but then you got a reversal back up, which is pretty interesting. I wasn't initially expecting this reversal because you had like equal lows right there. But the moment you closed above this, we said, hey, that's going to definitely come to here. Take out all that trend line buy side liquidity because it's literally reversely correlated to Bitcoin. And we took out all that buy side liquidity. Didn't break structure though. I don't think there's structure up there. No, there's no structure. Let me check. So you were making higher lows and higher highs. You broke structure, back to bearish. Expectational order flow would be a lower high for a lower low. You got the reconfirmation of your market structure from the low up right here, which is your level 2 structure. So that would confirm a rotation back down to that low. But at the same time, you had so much V-shaped price action that it is not weird to think you're going to get some more rangy price action instead of just an immediate follow through, which is what we have been getting, right? Like a fast move up or fast move. Yeah, here. Fast move up, fast move down, fast move up, relatively fast move down. You can expect some sort of rangy price action. So we got that kind of like range bound environment starting over here where we came down, leaving that buy side liquidity, came into demand right here. I'm just having a more refined level on the chart at the moment, but this entire zone was demand, which is where we bounced from right there. From there, we got to move up the buy side liquidity, leaving behind sell side liquidity below. Got the rejection after sweeping the liquidity and sweeping the liquidity from the supply block itself. Came back down, and now you kind of have equal lows and sell side liquidity lows here, and you grabbed buy side liquidity. So there's not really a confirmation for me to say like, oh, we're gonna go down, but overall expectation, building a bias through liquidity, is like this high, grab liquidity on the left, that high, grab liquidity on the left, and we have liquidity below right now. So if it's gonna move from liquidity to liquidity, that would be a move down, which is equal to BTC moving up. But there's not really any bearish breakout structures or market structure shifts whatsoever to confirm anything. It's literally just liquidity based. Yeah. Okay. It's also compressing indeed. It's similar, right? I think you can draw a trend line here. Oof. So that's similar to the BTC idea, right? Because this is your range. If you want to look at it from a range standpoint, that's a bearish breakout structure. So this is your lower high for the lower low. Hasn't made a new lower low yet, but you know, from a range trading perspective, you can do this and then have your range. So then it becomes extremely similar to Bitcoin. Where grab buy side, move down to sell side. That's equal to BTC going up, and then potentially accumulate from there, right? And move up higher. Now the thing is, right? Even though BTC, I don't like the way Bitcoin looks. For like, I think the price action right now, the situation that you're currently in, it's a bit of an ugly environment. But Bitcoin itself, I'm like, if it makes a new all-time high, it would, in my opinion, solely be for the purpose of a weekly range and then still distribute and keep kind of like the same price point for an all-time high. But I would just love if we could actually come down into these levels right here on USDT dominance to confirm that higher time frame accumulation, right? I've talked about that a lot. So it's just that if you take out this low, I would expect BTC to make a new all-time high, or maybe it has like a kind of like a delay. So we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see. But as of now, this is the most important price action right here, where you have a range in the range. Let me make this like kind of like dotted. Range in the range, where the range itself is compressing. So first move can be a fake move. I like the way that's been building up. I genuinely do like the way that's been building up. I think the volume profile on here is very sketchy. Yeah. Okay, that's useless. Okay, let me check the chat real quick, and then I'm going to dive into some altcoins. Let me check the chat real quick. TCT takeover, yes sir. What is up, YouTube? What is up, Sensei? I like that word. I like that word, Sensei. What is up, Sensei? That CRV trade is minting. I'm very curious what's going to happen here. I'm very curious. It's beautiful price behavior. But we're going to dive into the altcoins. So we just had to... BTC is going to be one of the most important charts, right? So getting kind of that correlation between BTC and USD is always my... Or USDT is always my priority. Gustav, what percentage of your portfolio do you dedicate to futures trading? Now, bro, now I almost have all my capital in my I use all my capital for trading. Most of it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Buy Andy on ETH. Oof. It is Pepe's best buddy, but Pepe's pretty down. Seeing you way too much. Yeah, bro. It's either you see me for the first time or you see me for the third time. I would not be mad if Tom refuses to range and just flies. Me neither, bro. We're gonna dive into those charts. Potential SFP on the weekly SPX charts. We can check it out. All I remember is that the S&P had a beautiful distribution. What happened to Wyckoff Insider? He has personal health issues. So he has been offline for a while. Trading is not his priority at the moment. Sui and Ando not looking bad. I'm ready. Let's dive into some charts. Do you trade on USDT or USDC? I'm aware the Tether situation has made clear there can be a potential black swan. I trade in USDT. Not that I completely trust USDT. You can't really trust any stable coin. You can't trust anything. It's that simple. You can't trust anything. That's why you need to be diversified. Do you keep all your money on an exchange? No. You diversify over different exchanges, different hot wallets, different cold wallets, bank accounts. Do you trust USDT? No. What do you do? Multiple stables. You know, always just diversify to be ready. You never know what's going to happen. Like, who would have expected that Bybit was going to have a fucking almost a bank run? You know? Bybit. Like, come on now. One of the best in the game. I love Bybit's leverage trading platform the most. And I'm back on it now. So... But it just goes to show. It shows the true characteristics of an exchange. But let's dive into some more charts. I think we have 30 minutes to the President Trump speaks. 6:30 we had Fed Chair Powell speaks. If any of you guys can kind of like update me on what is going on with that call. Wait, is my time zone wrong? Wait, let me refresh. No, I'm okay. No, okay. All good. It was a delay. Okay. So we got the Solana, we got the ETH chart right here, not Solana. We got ETH. It's in a sketchy area. I don't really like this range, so I would just focus on the low time frame. Right, you got your two supply zones above. You have a 1, 2, 3. I would definitely not call this a model 1. The range is just not compact. Like even if you draw the volume profile, you can see the range is truly up here. Like that was your concentrated range. That's where you had that beautiful Model 1 distribution during Asia. Shout out to the Asia market makers. And from there, you deviate to low, deviate it again. Don't really like the current situation that we're in, but I would just watch the low time frames here. And similar to Bitcoin, like if you get some sort of an accumulation while mitigating extreme demand, like go ahead, take a trade. Take a high probability long if it presents itself. And then from a context perspective, obviously you are in range extreme discount in extreme demand. So can definitely take it based on context. But you would need to see some return to zones being built up here, getting a move down, getting a move up, coming back down for that third tap, and then go higher from there. Preferably have it a bit deeper, mitigate the demand in the process of deviating, and then kind of take it higher, see if you can take it to that buy side liquidity up here, maybe even some supply higher, right? But it's not the best chart. More interesting charts are SUI. Okay, I've shared these charts actually on my profile as well. I don't know if it was SUI with it, but SUI is also really nice. So what we've been having here on SUI is obviously on the high time frame. For the people that remembered, we absolutely nailed that fucking move, bro. Like, it was also perfection. It's not always that perfect, but the retracement was imminent. Like, the way we were building up with all that liquidity, deviation after deviation, exhaustion, and then that combination of PO3 and Model 2 distribution at the highs, it was beautiful, okay? But you have to realize that, yes, we were due for a retracement, but your high time frame structure as of now is still pointing up because you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, and this is one move up, higher high. So this uptrend can continue itself for the higher low, for the higher high, because price swept a lot of liquidity coming down. Like you can see this entire buildup, that's a lot of sell side liquidity in here, okay, like a lot, giving the market maker the opportunity to fill a lot of longs if that is what he is intended to do. So we're getting that fast move down, and the wick that gets bought up immediately. Guys, I'm telling you, the pairs that bounce the quickest just have the most demand. So we bounced up perfectly from that refined structure demand POI, 64%. And ever since we came back down, right here, leaving a return to zone above, leaving all these highs intact while deviating your low. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm seeing price build up liquidity right here. We're building up liquidity, following our structure from low to high. We have a low, we have a high, higher low, higher high, double lows right here, kind of like equal lows. That is the first market structure low that got created after putting in your second tap, therefore also becoming its extreme liquidity point, and therefore a POI that price needs to retrace into if you want to validate a third tap. And right below it, as you can see, we have this 1 hour demand zone. And I always like it more when your demand is located below your liquidity, because then price can sweep the liquidity coming into demand. It's really nice, okay? So what I would love is if we can continue this return to zone coming into your third tap right here. If price can make its way down right here, probably will be a bit faster because there's not that much support right here that can create the pivot point for the market structure. But even if it's tiny, and you can do something like this, I am going to be heavy long. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I'll be long, because that can make for nice swing plays. That could be a high time frame pivot point right there. You're expecting more of a Model 2 instead of a Model 1? Well, you can prepare for both, but the POI for the third tap from a Model 2 perspective is so obvious, and there's no demand here lower that needs to be mitigated per se, that I would prefer, or I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a Model 2. When the POIs for the 2 are so clear, and there's not really a reason to go below this low, then typically a Model 2 is what takes place. But if you don't, then you don't get the confirmation for the Model 2, and obviously you can watch for the sweep of the deviation low right here and trade the Model 1. I'm just telling you right now, if price comes down there and you have a break of structure back to bullish after sweeping your liquidity, mitigating your demand, I will be long. So you either set an alert there with my exact thought process like I just described, or you forget about it. And this could be a high, like if the market catches a bit, right? Which, given the look of Bitcoin, I'm not particularly expecting, but let's say it does. This can be a high time frame pivot point where price from here could, leave some support levels behind, break it, kind of come back down, mitigate some support, and then move back higher. If that happens, I would draw a range like this and try and short the distribution on that high time frame. But we'll see, right? We'll see. But even above the range, there's a lot of liquidity. Like that entire move down is liquidity right here. So similar to how you were coming up, leaving liquidity below, on the move down, you were also leaving liquidity above the price could come back for. So could be a very nice pivot point on the chart right there, and a very high RR setup, especially because on the lower time frame, and this should be imprinted in your brain, guys, how to get those refined entries, especially for the people in the server. Watch for level 1, level 2 market structure, check extreme demand mitigations. Local return to zones on the pullback after breaking structure, all that stuff. Okay? So my alert is set right there. Now, compared to Sui and some other pairs having these POIs, CRV already has a third tap. So what I was watching right here was we have this range formation. Okay, this is kind of my chart that I have on the NFA. Yeah, everything I say is non-financial advice, by the way. But what we had here on CRV is we had this textbook PO3, and we talked about this, right? We made this very clear. I made a post about this. I think it was in summer even. Yeah, it was back here in August, right there. That we were having a PO3. And that PO3 played out. And the technical target of a PO3 is the range high. It's that simple, okay? It's the high of the range phase. And we SFP'd that, and then we rejected back down, which is completely normal, right? After such an aggressive expansion, you can expect a pullback, consolidation, before potentially an accumulation or a reversal. Now, I wasn't expecting price to retrace this deep, but obviously with the circumstances of ETH dropping to, sub 2K, it kind of brought the altcoins with it. But if you identify closely what kind of the extreme demand of the move is, you will realize that it's kind of like this structure demand from high to low, right? That's a very aggressive expansion that caused the 500% pump. And you can draw that as structure demand, but you kind of have one issue, and that is that you wicked it prior to breaking it right there. But if we zoom in on a lower time frame in this area, you will realize that this is a very structured move up right here. Very structured move up with higher lows and higher highs. And each higher low and higher high mitigates the previous one. Now you have all these structure demand creations that already get mitigated prior to continuing. It's a very nice uptrend from there. But if it's mitigated, there's no demand there anymore. And like, you're not going to use such a tiny block right there when the structure demand got mitigated. That's a bigger size one. That's a better one. Okay. Now, as you can see, we mitigated the extreme demand right here of the move in shape of a structure demand POI. But in the lower part of that structure demand, you had that more refined demand in the shape of an order block. Okay. And you can see that first type of the range low bounced from the extreme demand, got the move back up, got the move back down, creating a return to zone. And that deviation mitigated the most refined block. So there's not really a reason to go lower. Like, if the market makers truly wanted to reverse price or push price back down for a continuation later on, then that's the extreme demand of the very aggressive expansion back up. So if you're going to accumulate for a new run back up, it should be right here. And we are seeing signs of an accumulation because we're having these highs. They're all lower highs compared to the previous one, unless these 2 points, which is still fine. And then what happened is we put in that second tap, mitigated demand, got an expansion back up. I think that turned into a low time frame distribution, no? Yeah, so we got a low time frame distribution in here. Unfortunately, we did not mitigate this structure supply POI, which would have been way better, because if you got to push back up mitigating supply before coming down, obviously that supply is not there anymore when you get the confirmation. Now, looking at third tap POIs, you can see that obviously following your structure, you had this right here, took the low, kind of reversed back up right there, leaving behind this structure demand POI is also your extreme demand, and therefore the POI to validate the third tap. And then I think this was during Asia. Yeah, during Asia, you came back down, reversed back up, and you created this beautiful bars bottom as well, where we were breaking structure coming down in kind of like this shape, showcasing right there. So you were coming down kind of like this, right, which represents these bottoms right here, which is extremely nice because it's kind of like a model 1 into a model 2 on the bars patterns. Really nice bottom, and the expectational order flow of the next candle would be a higher low for a higher high and a squeeze higher, and that's exactly what we saw. So the moment this 6-hour candle closed, I was we already confirmed the break of structure. I was checking for demand mitigations. Obviously, this entire zone is structure demand, but I could see that on the lower time frame, we had an even more refined level. So I was like, okay, this is my most refined level. I'm going to extend it to the high of that higher time frame structure demand, and that's kind of my customized zone that I would like price to bounce from. And that's also where I opened up my CRV position. So I'm currently in a CRV trade, but I am aware, which is extremely important, okay? I'm still looking to add to this position. It's a starter position because it's a valid model 2 with a beautiful return to zone. However, we have supply above, okay? It's a 1 to 6 at the moment. Typically, I don't have 6% stop losses. I have a more like around 2-3% more refined, but it's a starter position. So if we get an expansion back up, it's still nice. I'll probably try and hold this trade until it goes against me, you know, kind of see how far you can take it if the market truly catches a bit. But yeah, if we get some more refined mitigation, maybe you get a move up, you get a move down, and we get more confirmation that's going to be a higher low for a higher high, and we can confirm kind of refined entry, I'll trill the stop loss and I'll add back the risk that I that decreased by trailing the stop loss closer. Okay, so I just wanted to be exposed to the market. I want to be exposed because I noticed that when you have these higher time frame models, it's very often that the high time frame model gets completed and kind of like gets that push up and that continuation and that follow through on news events. And it's very sneaky. If you pay attention, also to stocks, if you pay attention, what you'll see to indices, stocks, on these high time frame models, what they do, what the whales do, is they will confirm your model on the Friday PM session. Friday PM. Why? Well, no trader, no individual retail trader wants to open a position on the high time frame right before the close of the trading week, having to open on Monday with a potential gap that you are not sure of, right? So it's a very sneaky timing. And then what happens on Monday open, since the model is confirmed, is you open and you dump, giving the retail trader very little time to act or miss the move. But crypto obviously doesn't have a close. It's a 24/7 market. So typically what you see on higher time frame plays is that you get these confirmations, but then it truly takes off on news, which is sketchier to trade, you know? But it's like Bitcoin is kind of meh. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes down also. Sui has more room for downside. So I don't know what's going to happen to CRV. I just want it to be exposed to the market. I just want it to be exposed. Same goes for TON. Okay, same goes for TON. Now, for the people that have been following me closely, I think I've been screaming this potential PO3. And for the people that follow me way back, you guys know that I was watching this distribution model right here. And I remember telling myself back then, I was like, what would it take for a distribution model like this to reverse? I was like, how is this chart ever going to go back up again? It was very, very similar to Kaspa. Okay? Very similar to Kaspa. I was like, how on earth is a chart like this ever going to reverse? It's so heavy towards the downside on such a high time frame. Well, this is the answer. Because ever since we have been creating a potential PO3 for 250 days, with a total PO3 being 330 days. I have never seen such a high time frame model develop in such a high probability way. Now, again, I'm exposed in the TON market, okay? I'm exposed to it, but there isn't a high probability third tap yet, and you have supply above, which is pretty damn strong supply. Okay, I just want it to be exposed in case it starts to just absolutely take off and pump. Who knows? But I'm still hoping for something better. Now, what would be something better? You could do something like this and kind of create TCT and TCT here, right here, with a 1, a 2, and a 3. That's a possibility. Preferably we get something like that. Get a bigger push up in here. On the V-shaped move, create some proper demand here. And then make price pull back slowly into that demand. And then confirm a break of structure. Where then if you zoom out, because this range is valid on a higher time frame, where if you zoom out, these taps aren't even valid taps. Like, you don't have the 6 candle rule in between the deviations. So then this would simply be 1, that would be 2, and that will become 3. Okay? If we get something like that, guys, I'm telling you, we have 200 live viewers right now, okay? If something like this happens, you're right now in a situation where you can have a trade that has been developing for 330 days. I don't like to hype up trades, okay? I don't like to hype up trades because people get too excited. They over-fantasize about the idea of it playing out, causing them to enter too early or to oversize and over-risk. You don't need to over-risk on a position like this. Why? Because it's such a high RR, the return is insane, okay? But I'm telling you right now, if we get something like this, and it could also be a Model 1, right? Whenever I draw a Model 2, it can always be a Model 1 as well. It could even be better. Could literally even be better. But if you get something like that, and you get a refined entry, I'm telling you, it's very possible to have a 2% stop loss. Very, very possible. And then this will be the setup. That would literally be my setup, okay? It meets all the requirements for a PO3. We just need the entry trigger with the proper model 2 accumulation. And I don't know. Don't ask me, is Bitcoin going to make new all-time highs? Don't ask me, is ETH going to make new all-time highs? Is the rest of the market going to go up? I'm just seeing this taunt chart and I'm liking it. I'm simply liking it. I'm seeing the potential. If you watch lecture 8 of the TCT mentorship, you will know that this meets all the requirements. It meets all of it. Return to zone. It was a potential accumulation, return to zone, aggressive breakdown into high time frame key demand, perfect range formation below it, supply creation right there to trap retail for the lower high for the lower low. It's all there. High probability accumulation model here. It's going to be very interesting. What if it is a 2-tap setup of the PO3? Well, you already have 3 taps. So whether you get a better 3rd tap or not, it's already a 3-tap model. It's a 3-tap model on the 4-hour, right? Because you have your lower high and your lower low right here, and you can draw this, right? You already have a model 2. It just didn't really confirm. That's not a break of structure right here. Let me check. That was on the 1 hour. Yeah, that's not a good break of structure right there. That's a very sketchy break. So I don't like that break of structure. So I wouldn't say it's confirmed, but if you go up, that could confirm. And this could already play out. It's just that you have that heavy supply above, you know? So I wouldn't mind doing something like that, and then doing something like that. I really wouldn't mind. But I am telling you right now, I don't like to hype up setups for the reason I gave prior. But this is one of the ones. Okay? This is one of the ones. I genuinely have never seen it on such a high time frame. And I would be so surprised if it fails. But here's the difference, right? Very important. I would be surprised if it fails. But that doesn't mean I have to lose money. Okay? And the beauty of trading PO3s the way we trade them is that our entry would be in the pivot point here below. So if you go back up, you're already well deep into profits, but more importantly, you have a risk-free position. So even if you do reject back down and you send it to absolute 0, you're literally still making money. Okay? You're still making money. You have 30-minute demand below right here. But at the same time, it would be kind of like you would spend so much time here. I would want it to lift off a bit to spend some more time in here. Give it some more space. Because if you start to just slinger around in that lower section, I'm like let's say price does something like this. Like if something like that happens, you know, then I would just want it to take all the lows and do something like that. And just make it a model 1. And then squeeze straight through that supply. Genuinely. So we're going to see, you can see my alerts right here. I have an alert at the supply and I have an alert at the demand. That's all that I need. But I just want you guys to be aware of the setup. Now, I also have... Ondo right here. Who remembered what I said about Ondo in the New York stream? It's a bit meh. Move up, move down, third tap, move up. If you get a reaccumulation here, it could be TCT and TCT. I'm like, is that the extreme demand? There must be something lower, right? I would say this is the extreme demand, but in my opinion, that's a bit too deep. In my opinion, that's a bit too deep. Like, are you really going to have a move from here towards the upside, recover the entire move down, get an entire move back up to that same high, and then an entire move back down again, and then an entire move back? I don't think so, to be honest. I would want it to catch a bit right there. That's a sketchy volume profile as well. You can check the lower time frames here, but you also have to be aware we are entering like it's Friday PM, okay? It's Friday PM. Like, Saturdays aren't the most volatile, so if you decide to enter a trade, also accept the fact that you can have a range for 2 days before, you know, meeting your target. But this range itself is not the best range for high probability models. I'll just use the 45-minute demand. And see from there. Okay. And also, what you need to be aware of on a taunt setup like this, right? What you need to be aware of is that those 2-tap models for the PO3, that's an exception. I don't want you guys to always trade the 2-tap if you have a potential PO3. Maybe on spot you can because you have more flexibility. But in general, you want to trade it as its own accumulation or distribution model, especially on such a high time frame. If you're trading on a low time frame and you have no resistance, then yeah, it could squeeze immediately. But we're trading it on a high time frame with resistance above. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that. Would you consider doing a similar trade for Caspa since they are quite similar? No, because Caspa's on the PO3. This is a PO3. It's the only chart that has a PO3 like this. It's the only chart that I can actually validate a total rotation back up to a new all-time high. If you get the confirmation in here, which is not present at the moment. I want to clarify that, guys. There is no confirmation at the moment. Okay? But Caspa doesn't have the PO3, so I cannot validate a move back up to an all-time high at least. How many setups do you get usually with TCT on your main coins? Like the frequency of the setups? Bro, you can get 10 setups a day. Literally. You just have to be on the lower time frame and scalp it. But with the main pairs, bro. Forex Lady also has been good. And if you trade kind of like... Me personally, I would say typically it's like 2-3 high probability models a week. But on a lower time frame, you have plenty of opportunities. I'm just slowly kind of scalping less and less, and then going heavier size on mid time frame setups. Let me check some things. Let me check the chat. Why is it that you often don't extend your ranges on the second tab? Bro, it... I like how sharp you are, though, but it has nothing to do with anything. It's just that if it goes lower, I'll extend it to the second tab, and I'll wait for the Model 1. Like this. But right now, sometimes I'm looking for a Model 2, right? So I just keep it the same. It's not a big deal. But I like how sharp you are. Okay, is that event happening, or am I tripping? Can somebody update me? It's delayed. Oh, nice. Nice. Thoughts on this local XRP liquidity curve to the downside. These are my main POIs on so what XRP did, right? This was its own range, okay? That was its own range, and that was actually a PO3. This range was beautifully compressing. You had your range, and then you had your manipulation. Terrible manipulation phase, though. And then you had the expansion back down. And then from there, you kind of had this range. And this range is... It's a bit sketchy, right? It's a bit sketchy, but you had your high. I wouldn't trade this as a Model 1 distribution, but I'm kind of showcasing it this way to showcase the buy-side liquidity sweep right here of all these highs. And then mitigating the supply that caused that very aggressive expansion towards the downside. That was part of that PO3. And now we kind of have like a lower high for a potential lower low back down. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so contradicting, right? Where it's like these majors, like an ETH chart is meh, an XRP chart is meh. Don't even get me started on Solana, right? You guys know what I was looking for on Solana on the high time frame. That Model 1 distribution, like I still want that to hit the order flow objective, which is the range low right here. So many majors are looking for lower. BTC is also in the situation where I'm like, are you truly going to reverse up from here? You know what I mean? It's like, I would say no, but I would happily be proven wrong. But I think it's also very healthy if you can just simply go down and kind of create a bigger range here and then kind of deviate your way into support, you know? Before preparing for a potential next leg up that could go over in a high time frame range. But we're going to see. To be honest, we're going to see. We are going to see. Because I'm like, okay, I have all these majors, right? I have all these majors that are like a bit more heavy towards the downside and BTC kind of neutral. But then I have a setup like TON where I'm like, holy shit. That could make a new all-time high. That's why I'm like, It's live on CNBC on YouTube. Could it be XRP and Sol already juiced up? Yeah, maybe that is that, you know? What are they even going to talk about? Let me check. I have no idea. CNBC. I'm searching it up. Is that copyrighted? No, right? No. I'm trying to find it. getting ads.
Back 3 years ago, we had our first investor day. We laid out a clear strategic plan for
I don't think this is it.
businesses. We pointed
Starship channel. Ah, fuck that news. You guys update me. I'll update you on the chart. You update me on the news. I'll probably tell you what the news is gonna be. Why do you have ads on YouTube? Bro, don't ask me. Because I don't have I never use an ad blocker or YouTube Premium. So be aware, we have CRV, we have Tom, we have Sui. Those are kind of like the golden plays. Doge. I would love a similar situation as Sui on Doge, where you make your way back down one more time in here before reversing back up. Just because you have such a good level below. Right here. You have such a good level. It's that low time frame structure demand overlap with that higher time frame structure demand, and below that there's kind of like nothing but liquidity. And we do have the potential of a model 1 accumulation coming into that good level right here. That can cause for a nice squeeze up. It's already a model 2, but I really do not like that model 2. So yeah, preferably something like this, that, and then that. That would be my preferred situation. All the volume profiles are all over the place. Okay, the volume profiles are messed up. Just because these ranges have kind of like ranged in the upper section right here. So they were ranging in here. And then they had a pretty aggressive breakdown. And now we're starting to range in here. So you kind of have two individual parts inside the entire range, where you had range-bound price action there and range-bound price action there. But you don't have that compact range that's hovering around that EQ. So typically, if price is intended to create a proper range, you will see the kind of like a move up, spend some time in there, you know, then come down again, boom, model 1, reverse it back up. So it's similar to Sui, and in general, I've said this a million times in the Discord, like almost every chart has the same kind of idea, same kind of plan. So you just want to pick the best looking charts, okay? Pick the best looking ones, and then don't take each pair, because it's typically the same risk, right? It's like, if Doge is going to play out, Sui will probably also play out. But if Doge is not going to play out, Sui is not going to play out, Ton is not going to play out, CRV is not going to play out, you know? Maybe you have one that's kind of like a bit different, but in general, if you are looking for a similar setup, pick the one that has the highest probability of playing out based on the TA, based on what you're seeing. I think with USDT dominance is one of the most clean like the cleaner looking chart. I think just their vision for the future of crypto in the US, if I had to guess. Gian, why do you move more to mid time frame setups than scalps? To do something with his life. Bro, I'm in front of the computer 24/7, bro. I'm either working or I'm working out. That's what I'm doing. But it's more ease. Just sometimes these low time frame models, I cannot take them with the risk. I don't want to take them with the risk that I typically want to take setups on. And mind you, I was on MEXC, and if you're trading with bigger position sizes on MEXC, in the way we trade, which needs to be very precise, not really a limit game, more a market game, it's like, I was like, nah. And obviously, the mid time frame, kind of like that sweet spot of those high probability models that kind of have like a range duration of a minimum of like, I would say like 4 to 6 hours. They're nice. You know, they're nice. Lower time frame is always riskier. Bro, you have to get glasses when you're grinding so much from the PC? My G. I got blue light glasses. I'm always wearing these, but now for the stream, when the face cam is on, I took them off. But no, guys, definitely, it's a great thing that Linus is saying. If you're grinding from the PC, get yourself some blue light glasses. And I also have all these stickers. I have like these stickers that kind of prevent these, I don't know, frequencies shit. Market maker not in the public stream, no internet issues. Well, don't jinx it now. If the internet is gonna fuck up, then it's your fault, Mr. Blanquito. Indeed, it could be an EMF blocker. Guys, what happened? Okay, what happened on this Euro trade? Bro, this is the most random pump. I am truly left speechless. Like I didn't even realize, right? I checked the chart and I just saw this and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice model. We're getting some follow through towards the downside." Why did we come back up? It makes no sense. It generally makes no sense. Like, I have explanations, but right here. So Euro pumped pretty hard, right? Euro pumped pretty hard, but we came into a very interesting resistance POI. Right here, you have that structure supply, and if you look at the volume profile, you can see the POC of that high time frame range that was like for how many days? 656 days. It's right there, you know. So it was a distributive range that broke down. POC of high time frame distribution range is very nice. Okay, very nice. I'm looking at this, and we were talking about this during New York, and what I was seeing was a potential Model 1 distribution. Okay, where you have your range high, you have your range low. You're getting that curvature up effect. You know, it's a bit quick here, but there's just no demand, right? It's just a slow grind up, Asia lows all intact. Now we get that deviation 1 and we front run that resistance POI. And then from here on the news, we get that third tap back up. So obviously you guys know me. I'm like, okay, well, the news pushes price up to potentially mitigate that extreme or that supply POI. Grab buy side liquidity to then reverse back down. The problem is that there was no break of structure. So obviously you want to break structure from the low to the high. And you can see because we had the news, we just had one straight pump up. But I also released a video, and I released this on my X profile as well. It was on the ETH setup where I talked about how to enter on the pre-break of structure. Okay, where typically this is then the low that you want to break back the bearish to confirm the model. But if you have that proper pullback that leaves that local return to zone, and this goes for extreme supply and extreme liquidity of the retracement down, and you get that break of structure, you can still short it, right? So what happened here, and this is very nice behavior. First hour of New York, we went higher, okay? We pushed back up initially, mitigated the supply that was left over in here, grabbed extreme liquidity, and broke structure back to bearish. Guys, I'm telling you, it's an extremely nice reversal play. Like, you can draw that return to zone straight up into that top. You have your London lows intact, your Asia lows intact, high time frame resistance POI, first hour on New York, you grab that liquidity, you break structure. Beautiful model. I'll take that any day of the week, right? I'll literally take it any day of the week. Boom, boom, boom. Reverse it back down. Obviously, you got to be aware if price hovers around in here and you're going to close, you'll probably de-risk the position just to be sure. Now, I see, okay, like there's no reason for price to come back up again. This grab the extreme liquidity off the retracement / mitigate extreme supply. Because if there was extreme supply, it would be this 1 minute order block. And then that's mitigated. So you pull it above the mitigation. And then you have this. And I saw, yes, you are coming down with some liquidity, but it was not that big of a deal. You know, yes, you were coming down with some buy-side liquidity above that you could do, you know, potentially like this. Maybe you mitigate or you reject from this 1 minute supply. I'm telling you, the market makers were after us. Like, what is that? Guys, it has been a minute. It has been a minute that I have been like proper liquidity. Okay? Like, you can have a trade that's invalidated or whatsoever, or break even, or it goes up higher before continuing the overall expectation, you know? But being actual liquidity, I don't remember the last time I was actually liquidity. Because this is just straight up liquidity. And I was like, you know what? I'ma just accept it. I'll take this model every day. Okay. I'll take this model every day of the week. And it works good as shit. But that, I was like, damn. I got these deja vus from like first 2 years trading Lars. Like, these flashbacks, these traumas, these snapshots from 2022. I was like, ish. I was like, what? I was like, you know what? I was accepting it. I was like, you know what? Sometimes when you take so much liquidity from the market, you gotta be liquidity sometimes. Okay, it's just it's always an equal and opposite force. Where you take so much liquidity, man, sometimes you gotta be liquidity. So I just accepted it, and I was like, well, I was like, damn. It's like, what's the best way to describe this? It's as if like, I'm trying to come up with something good right now. It's like you're talking to your girlfriend, right? It's like you're talking to your girlfriend. You guys are arguing a bit. It's totally her fault. It's totally, she's totally in the wrong. Your girl is in the wrong, but you make up for it. Okay? You say sorry, you apologize, even though your girl is in the wrong. And then you walk away from the conversation. Okay? So right here, you're arguing. Okay? You apologize, even though you're not wrong. Everything is settled. You walk away. Okay? You apologize. It's all good. And then she just comes and says, and she says like, but if you love me, you wouldn't do that. It's like a little stab. You know, you thought everything was good, and she just had to poke the bear one more time. No one in here has a girlfriend. That's also a good one. You can tell by your explanation that you have a Latina. That's correct. That's correct. You're completely in the right, but you still apologize, and then you walk away to be the better man. And then she says, "But if you love me, you wouldn't say that." You're like, here we go again. You know, here we go again. Sounds like you've been through some things. Guys, Latinas are high risk, high reward. High RR plays. You have only one choice. To be happy or to be right. Facts. Guys, I'm in a... Lars is playing relationship on leverage. Guys, I'm in a happy relationship. I'm just kidding. But they're funny. They're man jokes. Come on now. Now, we're coming down. We're coming down right now. Man, I thought maybe we're going to get some Friday interesting price action. Friday evening. Finish the week strong, but not that much has been going on. So I just want you guys to be aware of the setups on SUI, CRV. You know, if it gets invalidated, watch for the Model 1. I kind of see how it develops. I don't know if you have a more refined level below here, actually. I don't think you do. No, not really. So just see how it develops. If it gets invalidated, it gets invalidated. You were aware of the risk, right? That was the buy side liquidity. That's the resistance. So we got to see what happens there. Similar to Ton, know what you're looking at. Have the alerts ready. And just, when they go off, act and execute your system. It's that simple. Trump is actually live now, though. Where can I watch it, guys? I would like to pull it up for a sec. Does your girlfriend watch your stream sometimes? I have no idea. I hope she doesn't. I don't think it's starting. Damn, 30 minutes late. Linus, what happens to a range which already completed an accumulation and distribution? Is it not valid anymore, or are the plans for this? Is it not valid anymore, or are the plans for this range then? If it already completed an accumulation and distribution, well, probably it's gonna have some follow through. If you had an accumulation that turned into a distribution, then probably we'll have some follow through. It's going to break up or down eventually. And if it's a distribution and accumulation, right? Either distribution or either going to reverse it or you're going to continue higher. But the entry is already there. The range will get left sooner than later. Boss took that 1 minute distribution on Bitcoin Model 2. Any thoughts? Ooh, I don't think I see any. I don't think I see any distribution here. Oh, I think you're referring to this. The breakup structure, if the breakup structure was better, if it was more like this prior to pulling back, that would have been an easier entry because you didn't really have a proper breakup structure here. Oh, you didn't really have a proper breakup structure right there. If that was a better break, then, you know, and you get that pullback, it can be a very quick play. Like, there shouldn't be a reason to go higher than that point. So you could have something like this that maybe has followed through towards the downside, since you are in a range that has kind of been compressing like we were just talking about. So maybe that's actually going to be the trade that can take you towards this range low, which makes for a very nice RR. But then having to wait for the second break right here, that happened right there, then it already becomes a bit sketchy. Entering close to that EQ in the middle of nothing that major. But I do like the thing you were looking at, though. Like, I do like the... If you have a similar sort of TA, then that is pretty decent. It's just very low time frame. It's on Fox News. Let me check. Let me check. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it.
Document that will say that we will form task forces and partnerships. We'll have incident command centers in these 11 cities that will partner all
Let me...
federal. We'll have some worldwide partners as well, as long as, yes, it'll be under our umbrella, and we'll help facilitate that, but also working with our local law enforcement is incredibly powerful. So streamlining those communications, it'll be a wonderful event, and everybody will be safe and fun.
We better be, right?
Yeah,
And this is the official ball.
Thank you very
Is that the guy from FIFA?
Thank you. Ooh, that's nice. I would give it to Christy, except it has my name on it. So.
What is that guy doing there?
Of course.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Is that going to be the ball?
This is the official match ball.
This will be what it will look like, the ball?
Yes.
When they play?
When they play.
Wow, that's
Yes.
great.
Yes. Nobody played yet. Has played yet.
That's great. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Johnny, thank you.
He's a FIFA market maker.
Thank you very much. restore the federal funds, sir.
Trump signs executive order establishing task force for 2026 FIFA World Cup. God damn. What's that about, bro?
Ik heb de woonkamer van mijn dromen gecreëerd. Met de prachtige meubels van Belliani.
Bruh.
Tijdens de lentesale tot 50% korting op de hele site. Shop.
That wasn't even it. That wasn't even it, bro. The crypto summit, this was like a FIFA thing. Can we short FIFA stock? Is that a thing? No. Is that not something? Beautiful. Beautiful. EA. Well, actually, don't make me short the motherfucking shit out of this stock, bro. Beautiful break of structure right there. This looks pretty nice. If you come up a bit slower than you're currently coming up, that could be a pretty nice trade. That could be a pretty nice trade, actually. Damn. I'm gonna set an alert there just in case. Hey, you never know, bro. You never know. I'm telling you, if you can get some, I want it to come up slower though, but if you can come up, do something like this. Bro, when Mr. TCT entered the stock market and pulls out a high time from distribution, you know what happened to Nvidia. That could be a nice play. Short it down all the way to the $70. $50 is true support. Starting right there. Okay, that's enough stocks though. Well, Bitcoin is coming down. If you're in that position, man, I would de-risk the trade right here by trailing your stop loss or yeah, probably. Let me check where you enter. Depending on where you entered, right? I would take a tiny TP, maybe troll the stop loss a bit, and see if you can take it down to here. I would see if you can take it down lower. Cause like there's nothing in here that's gonna hold price up. Nothing major, you know? You already mitigated yeah, you have 30-minute or 50-minute demand, but on a low time frame that looks like nothing. So unless you start to take this low right here and you kind of deviate it and you break your structure back to bullish and you kind of turn this into a bigger range itself, then yeah, you de-risk because you have liquidity trails like that. But if you don't, I'm like, oh. I'm like, maybe you're going to get a runner. Making my money back. Oh no. Is the internet still good? Oh yeah, it should be. No, we're good. It started. I see it. Bro, you can't take these guys serious now, or or is that just me? Look at Big Boy Sailor right there. My guy. But you cannot take a thing that they're about to say about crypto serious. Like let's not forget that Trump launched a meme coin that rugged. Like let's not forget that, okay? Crypto Last Supper, bro. Yes. I'm gonna turn it up. Can I add this as like a display or something? Oh?
I'm saying this is the widest I can go because we're using normal lens.
Look at this guy right there. He's logged in on his phone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Like
the
that guy's-
President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Great honor to have you. I know you've all been working very hard and very successfully. And it's a wonderful place, the White House. I want to begin, is Johnny here from World Cup? I want to thank you for the selection. And they just had a presentation in the Oval Office, and I thought this was such a beautiful, this is the trophy. This is the big deal. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event, and Johnny Infantino is my friend for a long time, and during my first term, we worked out a deal to get the World Cup, and then because of the hard way, but maybe the more important way. So I will be with you as president, Johnny. So maybe you could just say a few words and show how beautiful the World Cup trophy is. Thank you. Yeah, sure, please. Yeah,
The famous key.
that's a great key.
You want to open it, President? Or
Well, you go ahead.
I go ahead.
I trust you.
So this is the new trophy of a new competition. It's called the FIFA Club World Cup. There's 32 best clubs in the world with the absolutely best players in the world. And for the first time in history,
Look at Sailor.
since opening game,
Yo, why is he filming?
in Miami, final on the 30th of July this year in New York, New Jersey. But it's not that. The trophy is special because it's a key and because
Why is Sailor
if I
filming?
managed to do that. It's a bit tricky.
Right, imagine they break it.
It's not. So this is a trophy. It is a trophy which represents, and that's why I think it's interesting to show this trophy exactly in this forum, because it represents the past, but it's also projected to the future. There is no other sports trophy which looks like that. It has engraved the history of the game, of soccer or football as we call it, the participating teams of the first edition, the stadiums, beautiful stadiums in 11 cities in the United States of America where this competition will take place. So at the same time, past, present, and projected to the future. And if I may, President, say another 2 words, and then I let you work. I would like to congratulate the President and the administration for not only for the World Cup, the Club World Cup, the World Cup, and the great work done, but also for this.
The fuck is this guy talking about the World Cup?
You are speaking about here. If I may add something in this respect, I'm not an expert at all, but FIFA, as you know, is a brand which is globally known, a very strong brand. The soccer economy in the world is around 270 billion a year. 70% of that, Mr. President, is in Europe. So imagine the potential that there is around the world only in soccer if we develop it. And so FIFA is very, very interested under my presidency to develop the FIFA coin, to do it from here, from America, and to conquer the 5 billion soccer fans in the world. So if there is anyone here who is interested to team up with FIFA, here we are.
If there's anyone that's interested to team up with FIFA, the guy is giving a pitch.
With the FIFA coin.
The guy is giving a pitch. Okay, guys, if there's a FIFA coin shorted,
Worth more than FIFA. in the end, it could be quite a coin, actually. Huh? Anyway, thank you, Johnny. Great job. I just thought you should see this trophy because it's really, you know, it's the biggest sporting event in the world, and we have it here. And we appreciate being selected. Thank you very much. You do a fantastic job. And welcome to the first ever White House Digital Assets Summit. I know that many of you have been fighting for years for this, and it's an honor to be with you at the White House. I want to thank the White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Treasury Secretary. This is David right here, in case you don't know. You know David. And a man who's doing a great job as Secretary of Treasury. Scott Bessent, who's right here. Scott, thank you very much. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, wherever you may be, Howard. Hi, Howard. He's doing some interesting work right now with all that's going on. He's right in the middle of it and doing a great job. Thank you. SBA Administrator Kelly Laughlin.
I don't understand. Are we forgetting that
you.
this guy launched a meme
SEC
coin and
Commissioner
rugged
Esther
hundreds
Pierce.
of millions of dollars?
Thank you, Esther. Acting CFTC Chairman Caroline Pham. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer. Well, hello, Tom. Representative Brian Stile. Thank you. Brian, thank you very much.
Like, isn't
Digital
what
Assets
they're
Council
doing
Director Bill
actual
Hines,
public
who,
market making
and many other
and
distinguished guests.
insider
A lot of very
trading? It's
distinguished
so
people
obvious.
around
Like,
the
how
table. Some
how
of
is
them
that
will be
legal?
speaking. I want to thank Marco Rubio also, who's right over there. And we have tremendous people very interested in this subject. And last year I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve. And this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott. The federal government is already among the largest holders of Bitcoin, as you know. Really one of the largest holders in the world, with as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law, and including enforcement actions. These existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve. Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration. Not a good thing to have done. From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know. That's right.
Yo!
Who the hell knows?
Never sell your Bitcoin, guys. Oh, what am I watching? What am I watching, bro?
Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way. The Treasury and Commerce Departments will also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers. We don't want any cost to the taxpayers. In addition, my order directs federal agencies to conduct an inventory of all crypto assets currently held by the U.S. government and determine how they can be transferred easily to the Treasury. Non-Bitcoin digital
Who wrote
assets
this?
will be held
Who
in
wrote
new
this? That's the question you need to
digital
ask
asset
yourself.
Stockpile where they will be managed properly. My administration also is working to end the federal
bigger question you
bureaucracy's
need-
war
don't
on
forget,
crypto,
guys.
which was really going on pretty wildly during Biden until the election came about. About 5 months before the election, he became a big fan because he heard how many people were in favor of it and how many people love it and respect it. But I guess it didn't work out too well for him. People understood what was going on and paved the way for groundbreaking innovations in institutional finance. Under the Bitcoin administration, regulators strong-armed banks. I mean, they really did. They strong-armed banks into closing the accounts of crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking some money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponize government against the entire industry. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do. All of that will soon be over, and we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0.
Well, clap it up, guys.
You know, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing, but in the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons. They came around only because they wanted votes, and they saw that tens of millions of people were against them because of what they were doing. I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and will really go a long way. I think it's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way, tremendous method of growth, and things are very much tied, and we want to keep it that way, the U.S. dollar. Long into the future, we're going to keep it that way. I hope lawmakers will send that legislation to my desk before August recess if they can. And they're very much working with you, and you know a lot of them, and a lot of them were committed right from the very beginning. So I just want to congratulate you all for being at the White House today, and a man who knows more about Bitcoin and AI and just about everything
Michael?
else than anybody, David Saxton. I'd like to have you say a few words, David.
Oh, David.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're all here today because of your leadership, your vision, and your generosity, and I really want to thank you for that. We're also here because of your desire to make America great and to introduce a golden age in America, including for digital assets. And we're here because of your love of innovators, or as you might say, high IQ people. We know you love high IQ people. And we have about 30 of them here in the room today. These are the top people in the digital asset industry. And one other thing that I think that you love is legal fairness. This is an industry that was subjected to
Legal fairness,
persecution for the last 4 years, horrible lawfare, and nobody knows what that feels like better than you do. So we really appreciate the fact that you understand legal fairness and that you're always willing to fight for the right thing, for legal fairness. You never back down. You stand defiant, even in the face of an assassin's bullet. It's an inspiration to everyone in this room, I think. So it's an honor. So I just want to say it's an honor to work for you. It's an honor to work for a president who works every day to get so much done on behalf of the American people. Your administration is moving at tech speed. It's really amazing. It's actually faster than any startup that I've been part of. Is that your administration moves even faster? So I just want to say thank you for having me be a part of it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I love working for you. And
stop glazing, David.
Appreciate it.
He's like.
And now I just want to pass the ball to Secretary Besson.
Scott?
The guy didn't say shit. He just congratulated Trump.
So today, when President Trump has signed the executive order to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and stockpile, we're going to position the United States as a leader among nations in the digital asset strategy. It's important for the United States to recognize this fact and get ahead of the other nations in the digital age. We applaud the President's direction to use the digital assets already in possession of the nation, and we are going to establish this Bitcoin reserve. We use this authority to augment the asset side of the United States balance sheet. As I've said many times, President Trump is creating assets for the American people, while most past presidents have created debt. And a large part of this asset program can be in digital assets. We are going to end the regulatory weaponization against digital
His voice
assets.
is shaky. He's nervous.
The Biden administration's actions did nothing other than punish innovators, and that all of you have made it here today is really a testament to your fortitude. Much of Treasury's responsibility in this order
His voice is very
relates to
shaky.
the tax
He's
code
nervous.
and determination
Poor
for
guy.
risk weightings. And I'm here to assure you that we are going to work with the controller of the currency, the IRS, and we're going to rescind and amend all applicable previous guidance. And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime. And as President Trump has directed,
they're talking about
we are
stablecoins
going
a lot.
to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. Thank you.
So they're going to use stablecoins. Oh man, bro, stablecoins are going to collapse.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency. He understands technology, he embraces technology, and he's going to use technology to drive America forward. The blockchain and Bitcoin technology are a key part of that thinking, and embracing that. And here
who would have thought that in
shows
2025
much a leader
we will be listening to a White House crypto summit?
He embraces it. As
Sell
you
your
said, you're a
Bitcoin.
pioneer in this place, and this is where we're going. We're using the blockchain, we're using Bitcoin, we're going to use digital assets to pound forward, and Donald Trump is leading the way. Can't be more proud of you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Howard. Kelly, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration. You're moving at the speed of tech for sure, and I will just say it's a great day to have the war on not just crypto, but the war on innovation done. And under your administration, we are truly going to enter.
They just named blockchain. They just say blockchain and Bitcoin and technology.
Small business is a tremendous network that crypto can be deployed against, and so the SBA is open to crypto. So I look forward to working with all of the leaders in this room to advance your efforts here. Thank you.
Bro, this guy was so good.
Thank you very much. Please.
Well, Mr. President, I want to say thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
Lord.
for the amazing team that you put together. I want to thank you for
It's a whole Glaze show, bro. What am I listening
to?
to?
Could have envisioned this just a couple years ago. You are the one that has the vision. You're the one that said we are going to do 21st century finance right here in the United States of America. I've been doing this for 9 years. It is amazing how far we've come, and that's a credit to you, Mr. President, and your leadership, and God bless you for doing this, because it's going to make a huge difference with everything else you're doing. And by the way, Americans love it. They're going crazy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much.
Bro, they're trying to keep their jobs and positions. That's what they're trying to do.
Go ahead, please.
Does anyone want to say a couple of words? Cameron or Tyler, do you want to?
You're very shy in front of the
Actually,
camera.
Cameron, I think you said something earlier that.
Come
I
on,
thought
let
was
Michael
really
Saylor
profound.
talk.
You said that a year ago. You thought it would be more likely that you'd end up in jail than at the White House. You, not to put you on the spot, because you didn't do anything wrong, but that was the environment a year ago. But you guys want to say something? Either one of you.
Sure. That was actually Tyler who said that. but sorry,
I still get mixed up.
But yeah, we never thought that we'd get attacked the way we did in our backyard after trying to do the right thing for so many years and always trying to raise the bar with respect to regulations. So it's truly wonderful to see how things have changed and how the pendulum has swung back in the way that it has. And we've always felt that the U.S. should lead in Bitcoin and crypto, and it's ours to sort of lead and win. And it's just wonderful what President Trump has been doing with this, and we look forward to working together. And thanks for inviting us, David, and setting this up.
Thank you. Thank you both. Please.
I was just going to say thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, my.
Cameron takes credit for a lot of my things I say, so it's not the first time. But the U.S. won the internet, and the U.S. should win crypto. So thank you for your leadership on this.
Thank you both very much. High IQ individuals around this table. That's what I always say. We need high IQ. So thank you very much. Would anybody like to say anything? Please.
Anything? You mean thank you?
Express my deep gratitude for the seriousness with which you're approaching our industry and how you're actually helping guide it in the right direction. I work with many central banks in other countries, and when I was working there, I was wondering why I, as an American citizen, can't help the United States financial system reach this higher level that the world is on course towards generally. And so I'm very grateful that finally there's been a new level of kind of common sense and adoption of these ideas.
Just a reminder.
Other people in this room
Just a
believe that
friendly
the crypto,
reminder.
Blockchain, Web3 infrastructure is the next iteration of the financial system. And I think that the U.S. should have its leadership position continue in that new financial system. And I'm very, very happy to see people like David Sachs, Secretary of Investment, Secretary Lutnick taking this very seriously with their time.
Shit's even probably going down.
I'm just overjoyed to see this, and I think it is a big part of how the U.S. can continue its role in the global financial system. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I thought it was very important that we stay in the front of this one. This is a big one. And as you know, China is pushing forward and very strongly as usual. But we're way in the lead as we are in AI and other things, and we want to stay there. So I thought this was very important, and we have some brilliant people sitting around this table. And it's an honor to have you involved, but we want to stay at the forefront of everything. And this is a very important day in your lives. I know you worked, some of you, very long before people really understood what was happening. And so I congratulate you, but this is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal, and you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, media. Thank you. Please.
I want to hear a question, and then I'm not even interested anymore. Oh, guys, what was that? The live is glitching. Maybe it's gonna go over into something else, guys. What? Guys. Please learn how to trade. Okay? Please learn how to trade. I'm telling you, just learn how to trade. Shit's even going down. Oi. Let's put these lines back on the chart. Boom. I'm telling you guys, that was I don't know what I just watched. I don't know. I don't know what I just watched, to be honest, guys. I generally don't know what I just watched. It was just saying thank you, Trump. And then that's it. Thank you, Trump. And then that's it. Prices are retracing. Don't forget the blood moon 13th, 15th this month. Oh, Lord. Well, guys, we've been going for 2 hours. I think the plans are all clear. In my opinion, go enjoy your Friday night. You guys all grinded hard this entire week. The plan is clear. Alerts are set. Be prepared for the moves, and I'm gonna sign off because I don't know what that was like. What was that, bro? What was that? Guys, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Set alerts at Sui, CRV, and Ton. Rewind the stream back to see what we were watching on Bitcoin and USDT dominance as potential plays. And I will see you all in the server or Monday morning. Peace out, guys.